Looking for that ease of living in this beautiful country? Watch our weekly show Tea Talk every Wednesday at 8 p.m. where we'll be discussing latest news, updates, and what's buzzing on the social media.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the local stories. His Highness Sayyid Ass'ad bin Tariq Al Said will preside over the opening ceremony of the International Federation of Journalists Congress on Tuesday, May 31, 2022. According to Oman News Agency, His Highness Sayyid Ass'ad bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, will patronize the opening ceremony of the 31st International Conference of the International Federation of Journalists Congress on the 31st of May, hosted by the Sultanate of Oman, represented by the Omani Journalists Association at the Oman Convention and Exhibition Center in Muscat. The conference will last for 4 days. The conference is receiving local, regional, and international attention as it is the most prominent press and media event in the Middle East, with the participation of about 350 journalists representing federations, unions, and associations of more than 100 countries from different continents of the world, in addition to the participation of more than 50 journalists and media professionals representing newspapers, radios, television stations, and electronic newspapers from different countries of the world. During the opening ceremony, the Sultanate of Oman Award for the Best Press Photo in the world will be announced, and 5 families of journalists who died while performing their journalistic work will be honored. The Congress conference aims to introduce the media work in the Sultanate of Oman and the cooperation between the various media institutions, in addition to introducing the Omani journalist and media person to all the details of this large organization. Mohammed bin Mubarak Al-Aremi, chairman of the Board of Directors of the Oman Journalists Association, said, "More than 40 expats who did not have licenses to practice fishing have been arrested and 15 violating fishing vessels were seized in Dhofar Governorate. The Fisheries Control Team seized 15 violating artisanal fishing vessels in the sea adjacent to Niabat Hasik in the Walayat of Sada, and 43 expat workers who did not have license to practice the fishing profession were also arrested. The necessary legal measures were taken against the violators," Director General of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources in Dhofar Governorate said in a statement. The National Museum revealed a number of items loaned from the Republic of India. The National Museum said the following in a statement. The National Museum revealed the acquisitions loaned from the Republic of India represented in the book The History of the Caesars, which reviews the history of Oman and Zanzibar and is a rare document about the era of the princely states in India. It also displays a painting of Al-Mirani Castle in Muscat by the British artist Thomas Daniel. TTV was there to cover the event yesterday, so let's take a look. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international and sports stories for the
day. Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Looking for that ease of living in this beautiful country? Watch our weekly show Tea Talk every Wednesday at 8 p.m. where we'll be discussing latest news, updates, and what's buzzing on the social media.
Welcome back now for the international story. The Iraqi Minister of Health said on Saturday that up to 90 cases of viral hemorrhagic fever or VHF have been registered in Iraq, including 18 deaths. There has been a serious increase in the VHF cases in Iraq recently, and the number of registered cases could rise further if some other suspected cases are confirmed, the ministry's spokesperson Saif al-Badr said at a press conference. The first VHF case was detected in Dhikar last month, and later more cases were discovered in several other provinces, he added. The VHFs are a group of diseases caused by different viruses, including the Ebola virus, which affects multiple organ systems in the body and may cause fever and bleeding. The Iraqi health minister has not yet revealed which virus has caused the recent cases. India on Saturday supplied another 40,000 metric tons consignment of diesel to Sri Lanka to help ease the fuel shortage in the country, which is reeling under a severe economic and energy crisis. The High Commission of India in Sri Lanka took to its Twitter handle to make the announcement of the consignment. Meanwhile, a consignment carrying rice, milk powder and medicines worth more than 2 billion Sri Lankan rupees from India is scheduled to reach Colombo on Sunday. The consignment was flagged off from Chennai by Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu M.K. Stalin on Wednesday. The Honourable Chief Minister flagged off 9,000 metric tons of rice, 200 metric tons of spirit powder and 24 metric tons of essential medicines in a cargo ship to Sri Lanka to help the people of Sri Lanka, Chief Minister Office tweeted. Moreover, India has promised to provide over $3 billion to the debt-ridden island country in loans, credit swaps and also credit lines since the beginning of the year. India has also expressed its desire to work with the new Sri Lankan government. India is becoming a stronger and more mutually beneficial partner to Sri Lanka. Apart from assistance during the pandemic and fertilizer chaos, in which India delivered nano-fertilizer to save Sri Lankan farmers, now New Delhi has pledged nearly $3 billion to cash-strap Colombo through currency swaps, credit lines for essential goods, and repayment of loans since January 2022 to help Sri Lanka amid one of the worst economic crises in history. Special Coordinator for Tibetan Issues Uzra Zia called on Nepal Prime Minister Sheikh Bahadur Diupa at his residence on Sunday. The PM attended the visiting US delegate and the duo held discussions on ways to strengthen Nepal-US relations and other matters. US Under-Secretary of State for Civilian Security, Democracy and Human Rights and Special Coordinator for Tibetan Issues Uzra Zia reached Nepal on May 20th. On reaching Nepal with the United States Agency for International Development, Deputy Assistant Administrator for Asia Anjali Kaur Zia met the US Ambassador to Nepal Randy Berry and had a discussion to strengthen the partnership between the two countries. Zia is on a visit to India and Nepal from May 17th to 22nd. During her visit to India between May 17th and 20th, Zia met the Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra and had a discussion with him on regional issues of mutual interest. This key visit comes shortly after President of Central Tibetan Administration Penpa Sarang visit to Washington last month. During his visit, Sarang met with the US Special Envoy along with White House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The US State Department in a press statement said Zia will also discuss partnering with India and Nepal during this year of Action for the Summit for Democracy. The delegation will include United States Agency for International Development Deputy Assistant Administration for Asia Anjali Kaur. Zia is the first Indian American to serve in the role. She was appointed as the Special Coordinator for Tibetan Issues in December last year. And now for the sports stories. Manchester City star attacker Kevin De Bruyne has been voted as the Premier League 2021-2022 Player of the Season. De Bruyne joins an elite group of players to win the award in more than one Premier League champion, emulating Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo and Nemanja Vidic. De Bruyne, who last won the prize in 2019-20, has been pivotal to a Manchester City side in pole position to lift their sixth Premier League trophy. He scored 15 goals and provided a further 7 assists in only 29 appearances. The Belgian will now look to add to those totals when Manchester City hosts Aston Villa on Sunday, knowing a win would guarantee they retain the title. De Bruyne wins the award after the public vote was combined with those of the 20 club captains and a panel of football experts. The second Grand Slam of the year, the French Open, will have plenty on the line for the world's best tennis players. The Parisian clay will see defending men's singles champion Novak Djokovic take on a strong field that includes the record 13-time winner Rafael Nadal. The main draw at Roland Garros runs from May 22nd to June 4th. The top seed Djokovic will have the chance to catch up to Nadal and get back on level terms with his long-time nemesis on the men's Grand Slam leaderboard. Success on court Philippe Chatrier would give the Serb a record equaling 21st Slam trophy and would further ignite the battle for Grand Slam supremacy in the men's game. Meanwhile, 13-time Roland Garros winner Nadal has the opportunity to widen the gap between himself and Djokovic and Roger Federer. Another name in the reckoning is Carlos Alcaraz, the Spaniard who has added his name to the record books on several occasions these past few months, and the 19-year-old arrives at Roland Garros ranked a career-high number 6 in the world and having won at 2 leading 4 titles in 2022, including 2 at the Masters 1000 level. His run in Madrid saw him become the first ever player to defeat Djokovic and Nadal at the same tournament on clay and the youngest player in the history of the ATP since 1990 to beat 3 of the world's top 5 at the same event. In women's single, all eyes will be on top seed and world number 1 Iga Swiatek, who enters Roland Garros with a sensational 28-match winning streak and having won her last 5 consecutive tournaments. Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.